Welcome back, people, to another episode of Giant Goals.
Welcome back. I
Yeah,
have water.
Yeah, even the title race is over,
yeah.
but the top five
Top five.
is hitting
Top
up.
five.
The
Yeah,
remaining four places are heating up with six teams in contention, I believe.
yep.
Yep.
Let's quickly get
So,
started then.
This game week, after just what, three more games to go?
Three games, yeah.
yeah, after this one, three games. Let me. Oh, sorry, my bad. Let me know if you guys see it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, let's start with the, of course, the first one. It's already
I
over.
think it's going to be 1-0.
I think it's
I
going
Okay,
to be 1-0 as
it's
well.
a
De
very
Bruyne
it's going to be a
scored
very tight match. De Bruyne to score.
And
in
Doku 2
35th
assists.
minute. In 35th minute.
And I believe, yeah, Doku will assist it. The both teams are doing well at the moment. But yeah, we're
This
running a
remind
little late. Sorry, guys.
this reminds me of our childhood where our dad used to show us a recorded match and he used to predict the future.
Good times, man. Good times.
Yeah.
Times. Exactly.
But anyway, let's start with the first one.
Hmm.
Villa Fulham. I think
Interesting
Villa
game.
obviously has the toughest fixtures, I feel, of
Yeah.
all.
Yep.
And this is tricky as well. Like uh, Fulham, even though at home, but still, I feel this is going to be tricky and probably will see goals in here.
Yep.
What do you
Rashford is
guys?
out for the season with injury.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, poor guy.
And
He
I
was
believe there
just
are,
finding his feet.
but there are some attitude issues propping up for him at Aston Villa as well. So,
Oh, is it?
during the FA Cup semi-final that they lost, right?
Hmm.
So,
Yes, they lost 3-0. Yep.
he wasn't with the team. He was out to watch some other game in Birmingham or somewhere.
Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, and he says he doesn't want to move to Aston Villa post his loan. He's set. He is targeting to go to Barcelona and willing to take a pay cut.
Yeah, I think that
Barcelona.
was his that was his
But
target since
he
start.
shouldn't have made it outright. Like you are
Yeah.
still with a team who's
Hmm.
covering. You're with two teams who are covering your salary,
Yep,
and
yep,
then you're not even turning up for the semi-final match where your team is playing.
Yep.
I know
oh,
you're injured, but you could have gone there to support the team morally.
exactly. Yep.
And then you're seen out with friends to some other event. So that's not thorough professionalism from his side, I feel.
I'm I just don't understand what is professionalism with English players. Like a lot of English players, especially forwards, have been caught off guard when it comes to like playing games and then partying. I think players have gotten relegated. Their fans are crying, but they are like partying.
I remember Julian Lescott doing that after Aston Villa's relegation back in 15,
Mm,
16, I believe.
Yep.
So he posted a photo of some fancy car of his, and that
yep,
received a huge backlash from fans.
Even
yep,
I remember Liverpool squad partying, mostly English players, after losing 6-1 to Stoke when
yep,
they are
yep.
gone to Dubai and
I don't
like it.
disagree with Keane. Like he says the players have gone soft. And
Of course they have. Yep.
he is a prime epitome of the hardcore game that it used to
Yep.
be back
Yep.
in 90s and 2000s. The game has gone soft and the money probably has gone money and the
Money.
fame.
I think money and fame has like
And it's
players are
Skyrocketed.
not
Yep.
seeing
just
it more now
yeah, and
compared
it's
to.
not just for them, it's not just getting money from the game itself, right? From the club. They are getting money from a lot of sponsorships that
Yep,
have
yep,
recently
yep,
come to them.
Yep.
And a lot
yep.
of other contracts that they sign as well. Like Instagram gives them money. If they sign a deal with some
Yes.
other sponsor, they get money through that. So
Yep.
there are a
Mhm.
lot more medium for the players to get money. And especially somehow Man United players fall into this
Yep.
category.
True.
Yeah.
Very,
I
very
think the
true.
bigger the club, This all it's like a package deal, you know. This
You'd
all
never
comes
see
with it.
City players do that, right? City has become a big club, but you'd never hear a City player being that disgruntled.
Or probably it's not
Like there
highlighted
have been instances
that
when Pep
much.
has gone off, like Gabriel Jesus' mom came
Hmm.
out and said
Yep.
about
Yep.
him, Pep
His
purposely
tweeting.
benching.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And
But
then even
again,
Zinchenko.
he wasn't treated due to his off-field issues, right?
It was purely performance.
Yep,
Hmm.
exactly. But then again, it comes to a point, right? Like where because of the money, players I think feel they are bigger than the club. Like if you look at the
Hmm.
Beckhams, like
Yeah.
just
You know,
soared
guys,
when he.
actually we can do an entire video on this.
Yes,
Well, on its
absolutely.
birthday, you
We
guys are
should
talking about him, but yeah, happy birthday, Beckham.
happy birthday, Beckham. Yeah. But yeah, like we will surely cover this much more in detail, Loken. Like I believe this is a good idea for an off-season video.
Yep,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
absolutely.
But yeah,
But yeah,
like
coming to Villa versus Fulham.
okay,
Yeah. What
so
do you guys
I
think?
guess Villa should win. It should be 3-1 to Villa at least, or 3-1. As you mentioned, Amit, there would be goals. But Villa, except for the defeat, I believe it was against Man City, right? The last time they were defeated, what it was Man City.
Yeah. City 2-1.
City
Yep.
2-1, yeah. So except for that and the FA Cup game
FA
against
Cup. Yeah. FA
Crystal
Cup as
Palace.
well.
Yep.
Crystal Palace, they have been good. They should be comfortable with Fulham.
Same here. I think it will be a 3-1 win. Hopefully Watkins scores.
Yeah.
Because now Rashford is out, Watkins is there, like go-to guy, and Asensio.
And then this now that they're out of the FA Cup, this would be the only place that they qualify for Champions League.
Correct,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
I know FA Cup
Europe in
wouldn't have
general.
got them. Yeah, Europe. They would
Yeah.
still get into Europe. They're pretty high in the league, right? But
Yeah. They are
their
what,
own
seventh, I think.
yeah. Now that
Yeah.
they're out of UCL, they're out
So
of FA Cup.
seven goes to what? Europa?
Seven would go to
No.
5 and 7. 6 and 7 would go to Europa, right?
Oh,
Yes.
6 and 7 will go to
Yes.
Europa. Okay.
Yeah, and then eight would go to conference.
Oh, Europa gets 2 spots. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
because
Yes.
like
Spurs and United.
One would be the FA Cup winner. So if Crystal
Hmm.
Palace wins against City, then
Hmm.
Crystal Palace would get that spot.
Yes.
Else the
Hmm.
seventh place team would get it if City wins because they would
Yep.
be in UCL.
Right. 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 Okay. And what if Spurs and United, one of them wins the Europa?
Then you
You
probably
have
an
6 teams. Yeah. Yeah. I think
extra
yeah, I get
spot
you.
for the champions of England in Champions League.
Hmm. Okay.
I I'm not sure of that because that is like I remember the 2005 season when Liverpool won it and Everton were fourth and they
The
did
rules
not
were
make.
different then.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
And
Yeah,
there's a
I think
possibility
they
that if
included a
Chelsea,
coefficient and all like pretty late
Yes.
in the game. Yeah.
so if Chelsea wins
UECL.
UCL.
UECL,
Yep.
then there is a chance that, and if Chelsea finishes outside European places, so Chelsea could get into Europa.
Yep.
There would be
Hmm.
3 teams in Europa, then 5 teams in Champions League, and then 1 team in conference. So
Yeah,
nine
but I
teams
think
in
it's
total.
it's mathematically impossible for Chelsea now to go out. Because they're what, fifth
They're
on
fifth
60
with 60
points.
points.
Yeah.
Still
So
not massacred. Yeah, you
Yeah,
could
I
say
mean, I can
almost there.
say, yeah, almost
Yep.
there. Like
Yep.
it's not mathematically, but yeah, it's like
Yep.
pretty
it's very
confirmed.
close. Yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
yeah, what are your thoughts on
Yeah.
Villa Fulham?
So I see a lot of goals in here, maybe 3-2. But I'll still go with Villa win.
Hmm.
But I somehow feel it might also be like Fulham, but because they just lost, Villa just lost, and
Yep.
Rashford is out, who was pretty much finding, his form again. They're man down again, basically.
I
And
so I feel Asensio's kind of have a loss in form recently.
Yes. Yep.
yes, yes, yes.
So it's
Uh,
been quite a while. Like I'm looking at his stats. His last goal or assist contribution was in on April 2nd against Nottingham Forest, where he scored and
mm,
Brighton against Brighton, where
Hmm.
he scored and assisted one. And after that, there's been no goal or assist from his side.
mm.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
he has a dip in his
I
form.
think Villa is in trouble, I would say. I'll just give him one goal for being home team.
Hmm.
but I still feel Fulham has a good chance of defeating them.
Hmm.
Okay, let's
Next,
go on to the
Let's
next
see.
Everton.
one.
Everton Ipswich.
So Everton were defeated last game week, right? The last two
Yeah.
matches have been
Yep.
losses, close losses,
So,
Yep.
1-0
yep.
and 2-0. And against tough teams too. Chelsea with Jackson scoring against them, and City with the late two goals by
Yep.
Mm.
Nico Riley or McAtee.
Nico Raleigh, yes. Nico
Nico
Raleigh and
Riley and
Mateo Kovacic.
Kovacic.
Yep.
Kovacic, yeah.
And like Ipswich, we know like they aren't doing well themselves. They have been
Correct.
officially relegated.
Hmm.
Uh, and like they've lost their last two matches by a combined score of 0-7. And though against Arsenal and Newcastle, but they've lost
Hmm.
0-7.
Yep.
So what do you guys think?
I think this might be an Everton win. Uh, the reason being, I think Everton, let me just check their fixtures once. Uh,
Everton have had tough fixtures. They played Chelsea, they played City,
Yeah.
they played Nottingham Forest, which they won. Then they drew with Arsenal and they were defeated by Liverpool.
so Everton just actually have 3 more games at home.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Actually, not even 3 more games.
Two,
Sorry,
two,
they
Just two
two
literally have
games.
games.
two
Yeah.
games at home against
Yeah.
Ipswich and Southampton. So the crowd might just get behind them and win
Hmm.
it. That's what I'm thinking because it's their last
Last
two home
two. Yeah.
games.
At Goodison Park. Yeah.
And
Goodison
they
Park.
kind of, except for Newcastle, right? They have like a decent fixtures. The other three
Hmm.
Yes.
fixtures are decent for them.
Yep.
I'd give a close match. Like Everton are not scoring as many goals as we all know. Like
True.
Yeah.
they were
But they are
drawing
not
matches.
leaking that many goals as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like
It's been close
that's a
losses
good
for
thing.
them.
Yeah.
So as we mentioned, we used to mention before, Moyes, he's got that defensive structure within the
Yep.
team, and the team
Hmm.
are
Yep.
actually doing well. I'd give a close 1-0 win to Everton.
Hmm. 1-0. Let's see.
What about
I
you?
will be going for a 2. I think I'll go for a 2-1 win. Reason being Ipswich again back-to-back red cards in matches. Might want to go out on the high, and that's why. But I think Everton should win this match.
I think I'll go with 2-0 for Everton.
Hmm.
I just don't see Ipswich.
Hmm.
I think probably they're morally down. And like we said, Everton the last two home games at Goodison Park, that would be huge for the
Yep.
crowd. And even the team, Moyes, who has been there for like such a long time before, you know, I think he will try to uh, give the best to the crowd.
Yep.
They don't have that good quality striker. Like Armando Broa
Yes.
hasn't done well. Beto, he like we've seen before, he has this scoring streak and then he just disappears again for a year.
Disappear. Yep. Yep.
I think with Beto, he's like a target man, right? Like
Yeah.
the entire team is like just go and bully the defenders. Like Dakure is like big,
Mm.
Beto is big.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
even Calvert-Lewin is that kind of a striker.
Again,
So,
Calvert-Lewin, he's been very inconsistent with his injuries.
yep,
Yep.
exactly.
Next up, we have the battle of the relegated teams. Who's worse?
Someone was just saying like this is like a championship side fixture right now
Yeah,
because it literally is the next year's championship fixture.
next year championship title contenders maybe.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. And I think Jamie Vardy's last 4 games,
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope he scores. Just hope for the best for him.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
He missed a penalty, right? Last time
Yep,
he missed.
against
yep.
Wolves. Yep.
He missed
Poor
the
guy.
penalty there.
Yeah, I feel uh I feel Southampton just would want to rub off that, you know,
One
thing that
point.
they are the worst or like, one of the
Right,
worst.
joint
Yeah.
Joint
worst.
worst.
Yeah,
Yep.
joint worst. Yeah. So I think this will be a 1-1 and Southampton will celebrate like it's a title.
I'm
1-1.
actually going for Southampton victory
Wow.
because
All.
Leicester are done and dusted. Like
Yeah.
Southampton still shows some fight
Yep.
when they are playing, but Leicester, they're done and dusted. They haven't been looking convincing. Like even against Fulham, Southampton were close to getting a point, but they literally dropped off at the end. They
Hmm.
rescued a point against West Ham,
Yep.
Hmm.
and yeah, before that they were trashed.
Hmm.
But they in the last 5 matches they've collected 2 points.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
they are kind of getting to that good place. And Leicester, barring that game against the draw against Brighton, they have
Right.
Yep.
not scored for a long, long time.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And Southampton are at least scoring a few goals. So I'll give
Hmm.
Southampton win, probably 1-2.
1,
Okay.
2. Okay. Uh, I'm actually going to go for a Leicester win. I'm going to go for a 2-1, and I just hope Vardy scores. The reason being, again, home form. Southampton are in a decent run, but again, this is not from the mind, it's just from the heart for Vardy. Yep. And then if Southampton loses, they finish up at 10 points. I think we were talking about Dibbling in the past videos where he was given 100 million valuation. Take off 1-0 from there. Like, because if he can't do it here against Leicester, then yeah, 10 million. That would
We'll
be
still go
huge.
for, I still believe 25 in the current market would be a decent value for him. Like
I
if
think
someone like
that's
Anthony Ilanga with Champions League and international experience, like United got just
15.
15 or 16 million
15.
for
Yep.
him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And I'm pretty sure Liam Delap will go for more than that.
Liam Delap will be
Uh, I think
his buyout
he
is
has, yeah,
30 million.
30 million.
Yep.
Since they are relegated, it's 30. So I think anyone can get him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Arsenal
Arsenal versus
next.
Bournemouth.
So
Oh, how the
Arsenal,
mighty have fallen.
yeah, I was
I just
reading
hope
about
they don't use the
Odegaard
same.
today.
Yeah, I just they don't
Odegaard,
hope.
like his form has dipped after his injury.
Hmm.
He's just spraying around balls here and there, like not putting in threatening balls
Yep.
like he was before. Is kind of a luxury player for Arsenal. He's turning out to be like a Mesut Ozil player for Arsenal this
Yep.
season.
Both had come from Real Madrid. So,
Exactly.
what's the similarity between Arsenal's Tifo and Odegaard?
They are Real Madrid handouts.
No, they are both disappointing.
That was a pathetic tifo.
Yep.
Like literally someone, it was there lying in their closet for a long, long time. They just pulled it out.
Nobody even
it's
knew.
it's like when we used to be kids and we used to tell our mom and dads, "Hey, I have a school project today," and we used to tell them at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So I think someone visited Dollarama and just got it from there. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Arsenal fumbled this up again.
They have lost what? Look, they've, I think, drawn a couple of matches in
And
past
I'm
five, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
They are
they've
drawn against
drawn
Brentford and Crystal
Crystal
Palace.
Palace, yeah, 2-2.
I think they'll drop points here because again they will be they will
They
be
would
saving
want
their
to rest
players.
their players. Yes,
Yep,
you're
yep,
right.
Exactly.
yep.
You're right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I think we'll see Vanieri, Sterling, uh,
Zinchenko.
Zinchenko, maybe Ben White,
Yeah.
these kind of players.
So,
I wouldn't be.
Timber and all would be rested. Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure, for sure.
Saliba, Timber, they wouldn't want to risk
I'm pretty sure Arteta might start himself in the midfield. With
it.
the injury crisis they have, I wouldn't be surprised if he just starts playing there.
So
But I'm going.
Thomas Partey is available for next leg, right?
Yep,
Yes,
yep.
Against
yes.
PSG.
He is, yeah.
That is, he was, I think, one of the key figures who was out, and that's why they did not have that much control over the midfield.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I kind of feel this might be a one-all again, considering
Hmm.
all the rest. And Arsenal are barely interested in the league right now.
Yeah.
Their entire season neck rests on the second game.
So yeah, we won't see Saka or Odegaard.
No,
Odegaard could
not
play as
at
a
least
captain.
starting.
Yeah,
Not at least starting.
Merino,
Maybe like on
Ba-
Merino would be
bench.
rested.
yeah,
Partey could get
Martinelli.
some minutes.
Yep,
Like he could play at least 60 minutes to get those legs warmed up for the next leg.
Hmm.
yep,
And he had rest midweek because he was suspended.
Yep.
correct.
So Rice could be rested.
Hmm.
Yeah, he should be.
He should be, yeah. He would be
Yep,
very crucial. Then my Lewis Kelly, Kiwi or Saliba, all of them, they'll be
yep,
given rest.
yep.
So I feel like it would be a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, even I'm going with 1-1.
Hmm.
Same reasons. They're like biggest match of the season is coming up. They wouldn't want to screw it up
Yep.
with like injuries or like fatigue,
Yeah.
especially.
Correct. Brentford versus Man United. I think Man United might be on a high with that 3-0 thrashing of
Hmm.
Atletico. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Atletico
Bilbao,
Bilbao.
Bilbao. Yeah.
Athletic
Bilbao.
Bilbao. But again, they will be resting players. Even 3-0 is good, but they will still rest
But it's
players.
But
United,
it's
so you never
United,
know.
exactly. Like we
And
can
they'll
give
be
away
playing with 11
four
men
goals
this
in
time around.
second half.
And they were with 11 men. They were with 10 men. Like they played the second half with some of first half and second half, the entire second half
Yes.
with 10 men. So
Yep.
they will be playing with 11 men, and that could be a different story. We saw Leon make a comeback from 0-2 down to 4-2 up
4-2.
in
Yeah.
the extra
Yep.
time. So
Exactly. Like
that's why I'm skeptical about United. You never know. Onana has like a bad day and he just starts
or a
Yep.
normal
conceding.
day.
Oh,
Or normal day for me, yeah.
that's true.
Uh,
But I think Brentford win this, in my
yeah.
opinion.
Brentford has a
Hmm.
lot of goals in them. Like
Yep.
even if they're not there in amongst the European places anymore, but they still have a lot of goals. Be it Embuemo,
Yeah.
Visa,
Visa.
or
Yep.
like even Shada, Kevin Shada, who scored in the last game.
Last game. Yep. Yeah.
And then Damsgaard is providing them assist, and even their midfielder, Norgard,
Yeah. Christian Norgard.
Christian
Yes.
Norgard. So yeah, they
Yep.
have a lot of goals in them. And the one place United is struggling is to score.
Yep. Yep.
So
Actually going to go for a 2-1 win.
Hmm.
I'm going for a draw,
Hmm.
maybe 2-2.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
United score,
Who is
the
gonna
United,
score for United though?
Harry Maguire
yeah,
from the wing.
Maguire,
From
Dino,
the
Magudino.
Lamine Maguire.
Lamine Maguire.
Maguire.
Mohamed
Oh,
Maguire.
the memes are amazing.
Yeah.
But I even I'm going for a draw. I'll go with
Hmm.
for 1-1. I don't see many people scoring, or
Hmm.
maybe even Brentford just might go score and like to 2-1.
Hmm.
It's quite possible, but I'll still hope for a draw. I
Hmm.
don't want to go into the next week with that mindset. I don't want United to go in. So I think they will just try to hold on. Just
I feel
don't do
Bruno
anything
should be given
silly.
a rest for this game week.
Yes. Yes.
Like he's been playing week in, week out. He's a captain. I know it's difficult for him to be benched. But
Mm.
personally, he's been playing week in, week out, pouring his heart and energy in.
Yep.
But I
Uh,
think that's what he likes. So I think I read it somewhere that people are asking him like, why don't you rest or something? So he says that I like playing and I like giving 100%, as long as I'm not injured or I'm not,
that's the main worry. Like,
That's the
tired.
main worry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then he likes going out. He likes performing like full 90 minutes.
no
Hmm.
doubt, no doubt. And we've seen him over the years, right? Not
Yeah,
just one season. He's like, again, I barely remember time Bruno's been injured.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Correct. I think Bruno is one of those rare players, right, who doesn't get
Mm.
injured. Yep.
Yeah, unlike
Touch
some
wood.
of his teammates.
Un-
Touch wood. Touch wood.
Unlike the rest of his teammates, that is very true. That is very true.
Yep. Okay, let's move on. Brighton,
This is
Newcastle.
an interesting game, actually.
Yes.
This is
This
a very
actually
interesting game.
might be the second game of this game week, except Chelsea Liverpool.
Hmm.
Chelsea Liverpool, I wouldn't call it exciting anymore because Liverpool are done with the title.
Yeah, probably Liverpool players are, except for Salah, maybe everyone is like drunk and high
Yeah.
right now.
Yep.
I like Liverpool would probably take it easy that game, but Brighton Newcastle very exciting. Newcastle on a high, obviously.
Hmm.
And Brighton again, like they sometimes they won their last game, right? A very close win
West
against
Yes.
Ham,
West Ham.
West Ham.
Three,
Yeah,
three, two.
3-2.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
the
before
But that
first
was
that,
a
game
their
really
for.
good comeback. Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
but before that, their form was looking very patchy.
Hmm.
Yes.
So they
True.
were in contention for European places. Then they dropped off suddenly. They
Yep.
switched off. But then I believe they will have some confidence in them after the last game week. Uh, and again, Koaru Mitoma is back to scoring goals for them.
Correct.
Uh, like I believe he scored in the last match and one before that as well. Brentford
Hmm.
against Brentford.
Hmm.
So I'd give it 1 or 2-3 to Newcastle.
Hmm.
There would be
Uh,
goals because both teams are
hmm.
Both teams
having
are really in
good
Really
terms
on
of
good.
the
scoring right
attacking
now.
front.
Yep.
But Newcastle are on a different level at the moment.
At
So
the moment, for sure, yes.
except for that one blip against
Villa
Aston Villa,
Yeah, a Villa.
4-1.
Yep,
Yep.
yep,
but other than that, they have played
yeah.
well.
Same.
Yep.
I think except that one 4-1, which was nobody even expected.
Yep.
Probably they scored like 3 goals against United, 4 against Ipswich, was it?
Yes.
They have
Four
goals in
against.
them.
Yep.
Five
Brighton
against
on
Crystal
the
Palace.
yeah, five against Palace, yeah. And Brighton, on the other hand, they have nothing. Like, I mean, probably eighth place. They would hope that
Hmm.
things happen, and eighth place goes to uh like a European spot up
Yep.
for a grab. But other than that, they have nothing. And I think Newcastle would want to win this and like go in top
Hmm.
three just to relax later on.
Hmm.
I feel this is like 1-3.
Hmm.
I
I
think
am gonna. It might be a tough. This might be a high scoring match. So I'm actually going to go with the same prediction, but Sushant has, which is 2-3. Newcastle are in good scoring form, but because Brighton home and they won that game 3-2, they might just have a chance. But again, Newcastle's firepower is just too much right now. West Ham Spurs. I am pretty sure they'll rest up all of the Spurs players.
yeah,
Because again, as Sudharan predicted, right? Uh, Bulldog Gimt did
Bodo
score
Glimt.
one, which will make it interesting. So I think Spurs lose this 1-1.
I've I'm going for a draw because West Ham themselves are not in a great form.
Very true.
So Jared Bowen is somehow the only player who's playing for them now,
Yep.
like the only player performing. Uh, and Spurs, like Lokend, you mentioned, they would want to rest their players.
Correct.
It's going to be very tricky for them if they would hadn't conceded.
Hmm.
Then it would have been a very easy game, like a kind of a walkthrough. But since they conceded that goal, the goal difference is just two.
Yep.
Uh, they won't have it easy at Bodo Glimt.
Correct.
So I'm
Exactly.
going for a 1-1 draw.
What do you think, Kamai?
I think Spurs will win this one. West Ham themselves are like, they are out of relegation zone because the other teams were pathetic, I
Hmm.
feel,
We can talk the
and
same
because
about
they.
United and Spurs as well.
This might be the
That's
strangest
true.
Europa League ever.
That's true. That's very true. But I feel because West Ham won the previous games,
Yep.
they were just, above the, the
Hmm.
threat zone, I would call it.
Hmm.
Um, But Spurs, on the other hand, I don't think so. Even United or Spurs would want to go into the game with a losing mindset, like, oh shit, we
Hmm.
lost. So
Hmm.
I think I'll go with 1-2 for Spurs.
Surprising thing is, West Ham are playing both Spurs and United
Yep.
after this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I
Okay.
next
think.
is Chelsea. Yeah,
It
you're
could have
saying.
been a big match if Liverpool just hadn't won so many games at the start.
Yep.
Hmm.
But
This
kudos
might be
to
the
them.
this might be the game where I think Lavia and Enzo and Kaiser give a guard of honor to Endo. So
Yeah.
that might be a good one to see. But considering Chelsea's form, they scored 4-1 against Djurgården.
Hmm.
Uh,
Walk in the garden.
walk in the garden, literally. And then because they are in a Champions League contention, and because Liverpool players might have had a
Could
little
be
bit too much, I think Chelsea win this one. I think 3-1.
he won.
Yep.
Big, big prediction.
I think looking at Van Dijk, looking at Konate, right?
Hmm.
They haven't been comfortable against other teams as well. Like even against Spurs, they did make mistakes.
Mm.
and that was a game when the crowd just pulled them through. But here,
Hmm.
away, they might not be interested to like do any kind of miracles. Or it could be
So,
the other way around. They are champions; they will play like champions. But I feel that once the league is done, they will not play
Hmm.
that intensely. Basically,
so you're by 3-1, you're actually making a huge prediction because looking Chelsea in the Premier League, they have won by very close margins a lot of games.
yep,
Yep.
Like if you look against Everton, they've just won 1-0. If you look against
Hmm.
Fulham, they won it late, I believe, right? With an extra
yes,
added time
Yep.
1-2.
goal.
Yep.
Yep,
2-1. Yep.
1-2.
Yep.
And then before that, Brentford, they drew Tottenham, they won 1-1. They drew against Ipswich. So they have been winning by very narrow margins. I'm also I'll go for a draw. I'll
hmm,
actually go for Chelsea win. No, scrap that. I'll go for a
hmm,
Chelsea win, but a narrow, like
hmm,
1-2-1 win
hmm,
to Chelsea.
hmm.
Hmm. Even I will go for a 2-1. It's a Stamford Bridge, so and Chelsea has something to lose in here. Liverpool literally has nothing, no
Correct,
Champions League, nothing. They
exactly.
might Slot might just play players who are like, who are just on the fence, who he
Yep.
wants to keep or no, like for next season. So he might just
Probably
want to
players
test
like
out.
Endo,
Yeah,
whatever Endo or
yeah.
Harvey Elliott, they might
Or
be
Bendo, just to make their
Bendo. Yeah,
valuations go up
yeah.
and
Valuation.
then
Yep.
eventually sell them out.
Probably. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Only Salah would play because he would want to create that record and make his
Yes.
Ballon
Yeah.
d'Or chances a bit stronger since they
Yep.
are out.
Yep.
And make sure that he plays Darwin Núñez so that Salah can get one more hair transplant.
Okay,
Yep.
coming to the
Okay.
last match,
I
Crystal
think this is going to
Palace
be a 3-0 win to Palace.
3-0.
Nottingham have literally thrown their season away.
Yep. Yep.
It
Yep.
was actually going to be a difficult, right? They were punching above their weight for quite some
Yes.
time. They
Hmm.
pulled that form for, I'd say, a very, very long time. I
Yep.
was actually expecting to see a drop. Like when we started our channel, I was expecting to see a drop in that form then. But they've
Yep. Yep.
continued it so far. They'll still make it to Europa League, but Champions League, no. And I see them probably losing this game 2-1.
For me, it's 3-0. Mateta is on such a good form that and the mistakes which Morillo and Milinkovic did in the last game,
Mhm.
I think it's just Matt Sells who was able to save them a little bit, but I think they might get found out away at Palace.
Hmm. I think
Tony,
I'll
what do you
I'll
think?
go with a 2-0 for Palace.
Hmm.
Like you guys said, Nottingham has dropped their form. We
Yep.
kind of expected it in Jan and Feb when they had like tough fixtures like Arsenal, United, and Liverpool back to back. But they still, somehow they managed to keep it up. Uh, but I feel this is it. Probably, I think
Hmm.
probably their season is over, and they would just hope that you know we get like 6 places or 7 places at least. They'll
Yep.
at least be in Europe next season, but maybe
Yep.
not in CL.
Okay, we have our
Okay.
predictions in.
Yeah.
Game
Let's
week's
see.
already started. So let's see how the week turns out for the other teams.
Let's see who finally makes it to the like the Champions League, the Europa League. I still go with City finishing second and Arsenal
Yeah,
going
they're
to
pretty
third or
close.
fourth.
They're
Or
pretty
fourth.
close actually.
Yep.
Wow. Fourth.
If Arsenal finish fourth, there should be a meme where Mikel Arteta turns into Arsene Wenger because that is what Arsene
That
Wenger was famous
that
for.
that will be like a home place for Arsenal. Fourth.
Exactly.
Fourth place, yeah.
Nostalgic.
But yeah,
Trophy wise,
City, I think it's coming up, like you said, like you predicted. So let's see. It's interesting. So
Yep.
thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching and
we'll see
keep
you with
watching.
the
Yeah.
review of
And
the
do
Do
games.
comment
give in
your
your
yeah,
predictions. Yep. Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Match. We'll see who wins. Thank you.